Welcome back to the Jännerrallye for 2026, the 39th edition of this incredible event here in Upper Austria. We're heading into the nighttime hours as the cover of darkness comes over the Freistadt region, and we still have 3 stages remaining to go here of this first day of the 2026 Jännerrallye. My name is Peter McKay. Joining me in the commentary booth as we have been all day is Hollie McRae, and for the first time live on Twitch we have Kuru HS in as well, as Johannes Kepperbach is ready to go, and it is full darkness now, preparing to go into Liebenau 1, first pass of this stage, 8.76 kilometres. We have had a little service break, Hollie, and a chance for some of the drivers to take stock and, in some cases, lick their wounds after a difficult couple of stages.
We have indeed. It's been quite the interesting first day here at Jännerrallye, and on this service break I took it upon myself to go and have a little snoop around the tyres. There has been quite a lot of chat about the tackies today, and they've been causing a little bit of an issue for some drivers. We've seen quite a few punctures. Mads Osberg has experienced two, one at the start of the day and one in the last stage that we saw together, and of course it was a double puncture that put Martin Laszlo out of the rally for the rest of the day today. We were questioning in commentary whether a puncture is something that is a bit more likely to happen with one of the tacky tyres as opposed to the more traditional tyres that we're used to seeing out and about on rallies. And I headed to BRR team to have a chat. I snooped around the Pirelli van. I spoke to who I could at ZM Motors, and the general consensus is you're not necessarily more prone to get a puncture using tackies, but the type of tyre damage is different. We know a puncture predominantly to be a rupture to the rubber, whereas with the tackies it tends to be the tyre dislodging from the rim, and the rubber stays intact, but obviously you're getting a lot of the air then in underneath the rubber, and that causes the puncture itself. So when you're driving on tackies, hitting the sidewall will more likely cause tyre damage than if you were rallying with a regular tyre. And perhaps that's what we've seen with the likes of Mads Osberg. This is, of course, the first time that he's rallying with these tyres. So if he's rallying in a way that he's used to, with a tyre with a more traditional sidewall, he might be able to get away with more. Whereas rallying on the tackies, if you have a bump that might not cause much of an issue in a regular tyre, that can push the tackies off the rim even more than it already is, and that's where your issue comes. It is a difficult one to explain, but in true sort of uni style, I guess, Appendix A, you can check my Instagram stories and I've put up some pictures for you. I tracked down Mads's tyre that did have the damage, as well as some pictures of some tyres on the car. And you can sort of see that the rubber is offset from the rim a lot more than what it would be in a normal tyre, and perhaps that could be the reason that we're seeing so much damage on these stages today, because the stages themselves, there isn't much in the way of large rocks or anything on the sides to catch, but maybe you just don't need as big a rock as what you would in a normal tyre.
Fascinating, isn't it? Even when we've had the same choice of tyre for everybody all day, it really has been a nightmare for the crews to manage that tyre and get the best out of it. It's so interesting. As we head into the darkness hours, Kuru, it's 3 stages ahead. We could potentially see a little bit of swing in the order of things, our first darkness stages that we've seen so far on this year's Jännerrallye.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. This is where everything can change in a heartbeat. Massively reduced sight ahead of the drivers will make a big difference on how they will approach the stages. Obviously, they've seen them during practice during the day, but now they're gonna go through them at night, which is gonna be interesting for us and definitely more interesting for them.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, the pre-event recce they go through in a road car at road speed, of course, but with normal road traffic around, where they write the pace notes as best as possible, go back and watch the onboard video of those recces, or indeed if there's onboard video available of other of other runs of the stage in the past, which for majority of the day today, there has been a lot of good data and good onboards from the previous stages. But for now, going into stage 8, Liebenau, as it's known, this is a little bit of a different one where we got to look through that one, because we're looking at the last 3 years as well. You could get information from that to look through. We got a good layout here, 8.76 kilometers. Michael Lengauer was fastest on the first pass last year, with Philip Maris in his Toyota quickest in the second pass. Now, just a bit of a delay to the start here, unfortunately. Johannes Kepperbach. Now, I hope we're not going to get a stage cancellation here, because Johannes Kepperbach being pushed back the way.
Let's hope not. I was
Hopefully
just
not.
about to
Let's hope
say
not.
I was really looking forward to this stage, so let's hope it does go ahead. I've heard from the organisers that this is a really unique stage of the rally. It is about 1,000 metres above sea level, so you're getting into more mountainous territory, and they said if there is going to be snow on the stages, this is the stage that will get the snow first. Obviously, as we've seen today, every stage has had snow. We were blessed with some yesterday, which means that it has been a little bit more of a snow rally than it could have been. But up in this stage, we're expecting to see more snow than what we've seen on the 3 stages that the drivers have passed through already today. It's a narrow stage through the woods with lots of undulation, and of course then you throw in the darkness, and it's bound to be an exciting one. So let's hope that it gets underway pretty soon, because it could be a real changer of the rally.
It could be, yeah. At the moment, the drivers sitting at the start line are at the very highest point of the stage, around 950 metres above sea level, and then they slowly decline down to, even at its lowest point, still 850 metres above sea level before a brief climb back up again towards the end. So yes, it could well play a factor, that snowfall, and particularly the temperature, with the, of course, now being under full darkness. Could this shake the order up right now? I mean, it's been all Simon Wagner, hasn't it, so far? He leads the way by 18.8 seconds from Michael Lengauer, and if we do have fresh snow on the stage, then, well, Simon Wagner has an advantage, because he's starting further down the road, and the road will clear ahead of him, but we'll keep a watch on that. So it's Wagner from Lengauer by 18.8 seconds. Then Robert Jurgensen's managed to bring himself back up onto the podium. He's fought his way back after an engine issue related to the turbo pipe in the first stage. He's managed to get himself back up. He had a puncture in there as well during the day, and he's now back up into the podium positions. 49.3 off the lead, but right there in the mix for a podium. Mads Osberg, he has had 2 punctures today, pushing both off the rim, as we just mentioned. He's a minute and 10 off the lead, 21 behind Jurgensen. He sits in 4. Carmen Neubauer has dropped back again to 5th, having been on the podium earlier on. He's 5 seconds behind Osberg. And one of the drivers of the day for me, Jaroslav Koltun, who had a stage win in stage 6 by a good margin, by 4 seconds. It was an amazing run for the Polish driver. He sits in a top 6 position. And then another of my drivers of the day, Martin Rossgatterer, sits in 7th overall in a Renault Clio Rally 3. Quite amazing with the lack of horsepower that car has compared to the Rally 2. Both have 4-wheel drive, but the horsepower of the Rally 2 is hard to overcome. But for me, Hollie, one of the crews that have had a really good afternoon is Albert von Thurn Taxis and Yara Hein. They're up to 8th now, so they've really climbed the leaderboard over the last few stages.
They have indeed, and I think they themselves will be quite impressed about what they're seeing, because when they came into this rally, they're taking it on for the first time. Albert has never seen the stages that he's taking on today, and because of that, he said, there's no pressure, we just want to go, we want to learn, we want to gain experience of driving on snow and ice, of the tyres themselves, and sometimes that is the best mindset to go into a rally, because you're not necessarily comparing yourself to anybody else, you are purely rallying against yourself to get the experience, and it's clear that for them that's really worked today, and let's hope it will continue tomorrow. he did say that he wasn't going to be checking the times. I assume he must have by now. But let's hope it doesn't get into his head too much and he continues to have a nice clean run.
I think he's going to be loving it. Whatever, I guess if the times are coming, you're going to be having fun out there. One of my favourite stages of the weekend so far has been the arena stage, the Lasberg Arena, which we had two passes of, with some fantastic pictures coming out of there as we headed into the late afternoon. Big crowds, and one particular corner which we've called Kuru's K left, which caused a whole raft of problems. Kuru, for I think about 75% of the cars all had some sort of issue at that corner.
Yeah, that was definitely a commentator's curse from my side. The moment I saw the first car slip, I was like, this didn't look like it did in the first run, so I did expect more cars to go off. You can see Martin here had to stall, readjust, and then keep going. And he wasn't the only one. Lots of other drivers did the same or worse in this situation. Most of them eventually got it, but also most of them lost some time there.
Rally leader Simon Wagner lost some time. In fact, even the stage winner Jaroslav Koltun dropped a second or two there as well, and still went on to win the stage by a good margin. So it was tricky. Grip was at a premium in lots of places, even on the second pass where the loose snow had cleared a little bit more from the first pass, which allowed much quicker stage times, but it still was really, really tricky out there. One driver who really mastered that last section was Michael Lengauer, who just looked so committed and aggressive in his Skoda Fabia RS Rally 2. So hello wherever you're watching around the world, either on YouTube or for the very first time on Twitch as well, Kuru. This is a new initiative for the Jännerrallye, but looking at some of the numbers, looks like it's been a very popular day. Looks like there's lots of people enjoying some Jännerrallye action on your channel.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's lovely to see that you can find rally fans all over the world on all kinds of platforms. So awesome to have you all here, whether it is on YouTube or on Twitch. Love you guys tuning in from all over the world, asking some amazing questions and just adding to the event and just making it even better and bigger.
Have been the kind of general themes of questions?
I've seen several questions about they didn't know about this event, like basically that it existed, right? Like Austrian Rally might not be super famous yet, right? Like this is like most of our rallies are, national championships, right? So not too many international events, but you do have, plenty of international contenders joining those events. And just general interest, I would say, in regards of especially some of the older cars that joined the lineup, outside of Group 2 and 3, some of the more classic rally cars, and some cars that are out of spec and just fall into a special category just to compete, and they love to see it.
I have to say we took a little break for stage 7, was it, that we weren't commentating for, and during that time I headed over to the Spar, and on the short walk from the service park over to the Spar I was passed by an Audi Quattro heading out to the stages, and the noise of those sorts of cars just echoing around the buildings is just something so special. I can only imagine the atmosphere that's going to be out on the stages this evening, especially seeing those lights come round the corners in the dark. And I think nowadays especially night rallying is becoming more and more rare, and for a lot of drivers being able to compete in a rally with one night stage is something really special, whereas we're looking at 3 stages taking place in the dark tonight, fingers crossed, and then tomorrow also. It's something really special, and for a lot of these drivers a real novelty, I'm sure.
It doesn't get much better than nighttime rallying. Having had the great pleasure of going to the Mull Rally a few times, watching those cars coming through in the dark is absolutely immense, and watching the onboards. And yeah, you're right, Hollie, it is a rare thing now to go rallying in the darkness, and I think the drivers in general really do love it. One car which I which caught my eye on the entry list, was car number 45, the Porsche 911 SE of Carl Wagner. That's my kind of rally car. I like the sound of that, and of course we're not that far away from the very birthplace of the Porsche car brand. Gmünd is maybe an hour away, an hour and a half away, just northeast of Freistadt. So we're sort of in Porsche country. We can sort of count it.
I have to say, Pete, as I was going through doing my prep for this event, I noticed quite a few links between Porsche, whether it's cars that drivers have previously rallied in or different events that they've taken place in. And I did think that you'd have quite the smile on your face when doing the same in your office.
Yes, I'm an absolutely unapologetic Porsche geek. I absolutely love Porsche, and it's very cool to see the Porsche 992, the latest generation car, being converted into a rally car, the Rally GT 992, which we'll see competing in the German Rally Championship this year with Mark Bollenwein, who's one of the Hankook tire technicians in WRC. So looking forward to that. If you're just joining us, unfortunately, we've got a delayed start for stage 8 here for Sport Arena Tennermoor Liebenau. We were due to go off around 5:32, not around, exactly 5:32 local time, but we're now up to 2 minutes past 6 local time, so a little bit of a delay, unfortunately. Hopefully we'll be able to get going soon. The drivers are all lined up, waiting, probably slightly impatiently, at the line, but rally control will only let the stage begin once everything is safe to go. There's safety crews that go through in between and make sure that everything is as it should be so that the stage can run as safely as it possibly can. And this is, something that is essential when you're covering such a wide space. This stage goes for nearly 9 kilometers. That's a big geographical area you've got to look at. So there's always a lot of work done. And of course, Hollie, that job is made more difficult when it starts.
Yeah, you can only imagine the safety crews that have been heading through the stages. I have to say, if you look on EWRC, you can see, along with the entry list, you have a list of the cars that will be passing through the stage prior to the competitive rally cars. Even that list is incredible. The likes of the Zero car, the 00, they're all very special bits of equipment, but they all have a special job to do, as you say. They're checking to make sure that the stage is safe, that the spectators are all an ample distance away from the stage to keep themselves safe, and we don't really know what the hold-up is at this point. We assumed at first it might have been to do with simply a missing onboard camera delaying things, but it seems at this point it's a little bit more than that. We're getting some pictures of the stage. We've seen the drivers lining up at the start of the stage, and while we're here patiently waiting for it to begin, the drivers will be waiting too, perhaps a little more impatiently, because waiting in an active rally car at a stage start, you're managing a lot of different changes, and perhaps, Pete, you know as well as anybody what the drivers are going to be looking for and worried about as they're waiting. Maybe you can share.
Well, I guess tyre pressure is one thing, the drivers have got to be thinking about, because, there's looking at the tyre pressures when they go off, they have a cold pressure and then a finishing pressure when the tyre is really hot. I mean, Pirelli, who provide the tacky tyres which are used here on the Jännerrallye, the cold starting pressure, the recommended cold starting pressure is 2.1 bar or 30.4 psi. The hot finishing pressure is 2.3 bar or 33.35 psi. Now the actual warm up of the tyre before the stage is very important to get it just right. I remember on tarmac, for example, it's slightly different. On tarmac, I remember getting the amazing privilege to run down a stage with Dominic Strateski in a Fabia RS Rally 2, and just before, when we left service, they set the tyre pressures to 2 bar. Then, as we drove along the road section at road speed, the pressure dropped to 1.6, or Dominic would adjust it to 1.6. Then he would go into a more aggressive tyre warming, and then have the tyre basically would come up to 2 through the stage. So the tyre pressure is going to be something that the crews will have to keep a watch on as they're sitting there. The tyres obviously will be cold, sitting there on the line. So that's something also they'll have to think about. Also the brakes will now be really cold as well. So, but this is something that certainly the experienced crews at the front of the field are well aware of, and they'll just be trying to keep warm right now. And the best place to do that is to sit in the car with the engine on, I guess.
Absolutely. And Peter, as you were chatting there, we did have one of the rally officials come over and say something on the stream. Perhaps, Kuru, we can borrow your German language?
I did catch that. She basically said that the second safety car was done checking the track and it's about to be opened up again. So we shouldn't have to wait much longer.
Perfect news. That's what we like to hear.
But yeah, I do think you're right on the point earlier in regards of tire pressure and brake temperature. It's gonna make quite a bit of a difference now because they're not just the first car, but a lot of the other cars are already lining up behind them, and they're all gonna have to deal with the same issue: cold tires, cold brakes, lower pressure in the beginning. So they might have to slow down a little bit in the beginning just to make sure that they don't lose the traction in the wrong spot and just go off the track.
Lots more to consider now as we head into SS8. We've got someone in the YouTube comments saying that they've had the rally coverage on like one of those Christmas fireplace channels all day, and that is something that I highly respect.
Well, that's very kind. I hope it's been enjoyable. Background company, I think is one way to put it. It's been a real pleasure to see how many of you have been watching around the world. As the stage is now underway, brilliant job by Rally Control. They have to make sure that the stage is perfectly as safe as it can be before sending the rally cars in. So the crowd have to be in the right place. There's all kinds of different reasons why there's a stage delay. Thank you for your patience, and you're going to be rewarded with some brilliant action. Johannes Kepperbach is into the stage already. Now, one thing I haven't considered as well, yes, there isn't a heater in the car, and certainly not to keep your toes warm. That is one to think about. John Armstrong, M Sport WRC driver this year, joins us in on the broadcast as well. Great to see him here, telling us that there's no heater to keep your toes warm. They are soft, these rally drivers, Lily.
Very soft. I thought you were Irish, mate. Get hotter. Caused a bit of a stir in the comments here as well. We're getting all sorts of well wishes for the season ahead.
And rightly so. It's wonderful to see John getting this opportunity to compete in the WRC after an amazing ERC season last year with 2 wins to end the year, stepping up to the Rally 1 category at Monte Carlo. Really, really special indeed. Just a couple of weeks away till that event, but now rally fans watch for Jännerrallye, and Philip Kreisel looks to the lights, listening to the co-driver, and off he goes, releases the handbrake, and into the stage we go then. Rally cars at night, quite a lot of fresh snow there, it appears, so that's going to make it really tricky for these early runners, you would wager.
Especially with the tyres that have been sitting patiently at the start line. Oh, fireworks as well. I have to say, there was a beautiful atmosphere as I was leaving the service park to come back into the commentary booth. The co-drivers leaving with their co-driving lights on, sort of little lights in the darkness heading out to the stages. There is something very magical about rallying at night, and those fireworks are certainly adding to it.
Amazing atmosphere here at the Jännerrallye. We've been going since very early on this morning, and the fans have been out there from the very word go. It's a big event locally here around Freistadt. Off goes the number 8 machine, the Ford Fiesta. Many Ford Fiestas taking part here. Martin Fischerlehner, a real Jännerrallye stalwart. 19 starts now at this event as Kevin Ray brings his machine up to the line on his Jännerrallye debut for the Austrian.
The variety and experience on this event is something really special. You've got someone on their debut following someone that's taken part in this rally so many times, and when I spoke to Martin at Service B this afternoon, he said that this evening's stages were the ones that he was most looking forward to. As you say, Pete, he's competed in this rally 18 times already. This is his 19th appearance. So he really knows what he's looking for in a stage, and the ones that we're about to see, these are the ones that suit him the best. So it'll be nice to see if he can claw back some of that time after his puncture earlier today.
One thing that Kevin Ray does have better than all the rest is the sunglass choice. We were admiring his shades early on. They were almost like full face sunglasses, if that makes sense. Real style. Now, Michael Lengauer, winner of the last 2 years here at the Jännerrallye, at the moment trails Simon Wagner by 18.8 seconds. 3 darkness stages till the overnight halt. Is this where he strikes? Is this where he manages to find a weakness in the Wagner armour? He's going to need every last bit of that local knowledge, and I guess, Kuru, when it's dark, being a local, I guess, becomes even more of an advantage.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're used to Austrian roads, it definitely comes in handy right now. And the more time you spend around these woods, so to say, it definitely helps you out. So I think they're not going to be too afraid of the dark, and they're just gonna gun for a really good time.
Light twinkling through the darkness, absolutely glorious sight. Mads Osberg, Sergio Itu, thumbs up from Serge. They've had an up and down day. Speed-wise, they've been right there, but 2 tyres pushed off the rim, unfortunately, have put them on the back foot. But they're not going to give up. And the one thing is, Hollie, that they've both been smiling and giggling away throughout the day.
They have. They seem to have really enjoyed their day despite the difficulties that have got in their way in the meantime. And when you look at their times, they have been doing incredibly. If it wasn't for the 2 mishaps with the tyres, they would be right up there, most likely battling with Wagner himself. But that's not the case, and we know how quickly things can change in rallying. The fact that they are still up there putting on a fight and gaining back as much of that lost time as they can speaks volumes, and I'm sure that the smiles on their face will help them do that in a bit more fun.
Now 6 cars into the stage, 8.76 kilometres for this one. Last year we saw average speeds 90.3 kilometres an hour for Michael Lengauer, average speed, and a 92.4 kilometres per hour on the second pass for Philip Maris. But let's ride with Mads Osberg, the former works driver,
4 right over crest,
all round
60,
good guy.
care, needs 4 left, keep in, 70, small crest, unseen, 4 right plus, 70, short 5 left plus, over crest, 90, line 4 right mix, 70, neat, 4 right minus minus, 40, 5 left minus, tightens 4, mix 30, turn square right over crest, small cut, 80, crest and short, 5 left plus over crest, 40.
There's been quite a lot of loose snow out here, so you wonder if the road is going to get quicker. Let's hear from Johannes Kepperbach down at the stop line.
Wie ist das Gefühl, wenn man vorher schon ein Safety Car von der Strecke abgekommen sieht?
How's the feeling when a safety car went off?
Nicht unbedingt, vor allem wenn du da an das Safety Car bist in Wahrheit. Aber ja, passt, das war für uns jetzt okay, es ist jetzt sehr eisig draußen.
He was feeling like the safety car being the first car on the track.
Aber euch ist gut gegangen?
Ja, es rutscht halt ohne Ende und natürlich, wenn es länger am
It's very
Start
slippery,
bist,
and the longer you stand at the start, the harder it becomes.
Heraus, dann brauchst du ein bisschen, bis du reinkommst, aber passt.
Dankeschön.
Took him a while to get into the swing of things, but it did work out in the end.
Well, there's the answer we've been waiting for, I guess. I saw a couple people drop that in the YouTube comments, but it does seem like it was a safety car issue that was the hold up for the stage, but luckily we're back on track now.
90,
It can happen. It can happen. I think it gives an idea just how treacherous the terrain is. Because, of course, safety cars are going through at a more sedate pace. They're not crawling round, though. They can't. They've got to go at a certain speed to get through. Make sure everything runs on time. So, yeah, it can happen. It's clearly very, very tricky out there. Very small little burst of tarmac there, then back up onto the loose snow for Mads Osberg. We've seen Mads looking out the side window quite often today, fully sideways on the narrow, skinny, tacky tyres.
50, short 6 right mix, 100 mix, slow short 6 left, into turn short 4 right plus, snow 120.
Quite fast in places, difficult to pick a braking point, but
into half 6 right
no
plus,
problem for Mads there, dancing it on the limit. Let's hear from Albert.
Es ein bisschen nach, wenn man so lang steht, aber wir haben einen kleinen Fehler gemacht. Ich habe mich ein bisschen verbrennt an einem Abzweig, aber es ist Gott sei Dank nichts passiert und ja, sehr rutschig da draußen.
Missed the breaking point after sliding a bit.
Ja, ja, happy.
Sehr schön.
But he's still happy with his performance. He did manage to save it, so he can't be too sad about it.
Albert, he's always, you know, he's been pushing because his eyes are absolutely on stocks there.
And I'd
So
say
first time's coming through. Philip Kreisel, 6 minutes 29.1 for Philip, 6 minutes 59.7 for Johannes Kepperbach. Yeah, as you mentioned, felt like he was the safety car with that
Deutsch oder Englisch?
snow.
Deutsch.
Deutsch, okay. Ja, super, sehr cool. Also, jetzt haben wir richtig viel Spaß gehabt dadurch, ja.
Wie war
Had a
das
lot of
Warten?
fun with the stage.
Bitte?
Wie war das Warten für dich?
Ah ja, sehr kalt.
How was the waiting? It was cold.
Ich hätte das Auto laufen lassen sollen, glaube ich.
Danke.
Ich glaube, wie viel Grad hat es denn hier?
Ich glaube, -6 haben wir uns erst gehabt.
-6?
He's asking about the
Ja,
temperature. It has -6 degrees outside at the moment, and they did turn off the engine earlier, so it did get quite cold even inside the car.
there's somebody else in the John Armstrong Club requesting some heaters blowing hot air at their toes.
Brilliant stuff. Also, Martin Fischerlehner through the stage as well in the number 8 Ford Fiesta. He is 5.4 seconds off the pace of Philip Kreisel.
Gut, war echt cool.
Rutschig.
Viel Schnee.
What do you think about the race?
Die Cuts waren extrem.
Lots of snow, pretty
Aber
cold.
die letzten 2 Kilometer ist es wirklich so, dass man ganz treu der Spur bleiben muss.
The last 2 kilometers, you gotta stay centered.
Man ist relativ schnell weg, weil der Schnee frisst.
The snow is actually quite pressurized, so you would slip right off if you're not careful.
Now ride with Hermann Neubauer, with Ursula Gassner reading out the pace notes.
Der Konzentration gegangen.
Ja, danke, ganz gut, hat gut gepasst.
How was the
Also war eine
concentration?
richtig schöne Schneeprüfung. War
Was pretty
lustig
good.
zum Fahren, also hat
Fun to
perfekt
drive.
gepasst, vielen Dank.
And it was fine for the night.
That's another pair of cool shades.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure you really need them at this point at night, but then again, you do get quite a bit of reflective snow at night, and it's going to be more concentrated. And, well, if it helps, right? I'm not going to tell him how to drive.
Yeah, it's something the WRC drivers have been using a lot on snow rallies, particularly when it's dark. Those yellow, it's the yellow tinted, it's kind of like what they call lens on the glasses that really
And how was the night drive?
definition.
Jetzt kommt der spannende Teil vom Tag.
Not too bad. Now the exciting part of the day starts,
Ich habe
the
gerade
night.
durchgesagt bekommen, Bestzeit. Was sagst du dazu? Bestzeit habe ich gerade
You
gehört.
got the best time so far.
Die Jungs hinter mir kommen jetzt erst. Schauen wir mal.
But he's
was
expecting
Jännerrallye
the faster
wird.
guys after him
Alles
to
geben.
get him.
Recht viel mehr geht nicht mehr. Schauen wir mal.
Dann alles Gute.
I
Danke.
think he's already pushing as hard as he can, and he's going to continue doing so.
Well, it certainly worked. 24 seconds quicker than anybody else. Once more, Hollie.
The interviews are coming thick and fast now, but yeah, he didn't sound the most settled at that stage end there, but he's put in an excellent performance, and we've been really impressed looking at the times throughout the day. Obviously,
How was the drive?
How was the drive?
It was okay.
there
It
we
was
go.
quite tricky stage for sure. I think the other guys should be a bit faster because they know the stage quite well, and I was not really perfect, struggling a bit in the dark to discover the stage, but otherwise we had fun.
How were you feeling when the first safety car was off the track?
I didn't know it, so I just knew there was a delay, but I didn't know what it was.
Thank you.
As I was saying, yeah, Michael Lengauer has been chasing Simon Wagner for the majority of the day, but impressively enough, he's kept the distance about only 19 seconds behind him. Really incredible stuff over so many kilometers.
So, die erste Fahrt in der Nacht jetzt. Wie geht's dir?
Ja, war ein Schritt in die richtige Richtung, auf jeden Fall viel besser. Haben ein bisschen was umgebaut und jetzt fühle ich mich auch wohler. Ja, leider ist der Abstand nach vorne schon relativ groß, aber schauen wir, dass wir Spaß haben und dass wir den Rhythmus finden und dann sehen wir, was noch passiert.
Enjoying the car more, you can drive faster.
Auf jeden Fall, viel besser. War ein schöner Rhythmus, coole Prüfung, extrem viel Schnee, also genau so wollen wir es.
Sehr gut.
Loved the stage, lots of snow. That's what he expected, that's what he likes.
So going through the times then, Michael Lengauer fastest by 15 seconds now from Hermann Neubauer. 17.8 off the fastest is Mads Osberg. He mentioned there the stage knowledge was an issue there for him. Philip Kreisel in 4th, 24 seconds off the pace, and Martin Fischerlehner 29.4 off the pace in 5th at the moment as our rally leader. Simon Wagner into the stage then, and already you can see a line appearing there in that loose snow, which will give Wagner an advantage. You'd have to think getting those tyres down into the ice, down into the ground to get more grip and not kind of skidding through that loose snow. So Wagner with an opportunity to strike an advantage here on Michael Lengauer and increase his lead even more so.
Simon has been driving excellently all day today. I think he's got a bit of a reputation of never really faltering too much, never getting himself too stressed, and that's what we've seen today, and it shows in the times.
Jorgensen has come through second quickest. Sounds like he's made it through to the stop line. No, it's Jaroslav Koltun first.
The first track in the dark, how was it?
It was bad. We stuck on a ditch. Lost half minute.
Thank you.
So Jaroslav Koltun, yeah, losing 1 minute and 5 seconds. I didn't quite catch what he said there, Hollie, did you?
Stuck in a ditch, I believe. I think he's gone off the road slightly and probably had a bit of wheel spin on the way out. That's lost him quite a bit of time there.
Done on the last 3 stages, so that's positive, because before that it was a big mess. So yeah, at least clean, but really difficult to understand how you need to actually carry the speed through and then trust the, let's say, ice that's over there.
How do you feel about the next two?
Yeah, similar stages. I think now it's just second pass, so again different conditions.
Thank you.
Jorgensen fairly happy with his lot so far, and no wonder, second quickest, although 14.2 off of Michael Lengauer. But let's hear from Simon Wagner, who's come through 8.9 slower than Lengauer.
Du siehst die zweitbeste Zeit.
Zweitbeste, second best time.
Danke, ja, war ein schwieriges Stage. Ich glaube, da war jetzt die Startposition nicht perfekt.
Difficult stage and the starting position did bite him a little bit.
Geht's in der Finstern mit dem Fahren?
I was driving in the dark.
Geht's in der Finstern mit dem Fahren?
Eigentlich ganz gut. Es waren nur sehr viele Schneeverwehungen.
Not too bad, lots of snow
aber ansonsten alles gut.
on the road.
Dankeschön.
Danke.
It's interesting he felt that the road position didn't help in areas it looked like it would do, but that's interesting. So the Jännerrallye comes alive under darkness with Simon Wagner's lead more or less half, because Michael Lengauer is cutting down to 9.9.
Kurzerhand vom Mercedes-Bus runtergehen und mit dem sogenannten Race-Tape im Motorsportfachjargon irgendwie herumgebastelt. Also unsere Mechaniker, saubere Arbeit, die kann wieder normal im Straßenverkehr teilnehmen.
Das heißt, Klopf auf Holz, dass der jetzt da bleibt.
Ja.
And they're really hoping that it's going to stay there and not fall off again.
Mercedes braucht dann auch wieder einen Spiegel.
Und wie war es jetzt beim Fahren?
Extrem eisig, aber ein Winter Wonderland, der Vollmond, dann mit der Nachtgalerie auf die Autos, also
Winter Wonderland and moonlight illuminating the track for him.
Irgendwie wie in einem Tunnel, wie in einer Popbahn da zum Durchfahren. Die Landschaft ist traumhaft, also gewaltig, wirklich gewaltig.
Felt a bit like a bobslide going through chicanes.
Danke.
That is a busy stop line this evening, and we spoke to Robert Jurgensen and amongst all of those drivers there who said that the afternoon has finally started to go a bit more in his favour. He is of course referencing there his stage win on stage 7 and hopefully more to come.
Ja, sensationell, also die Prüfung ist einfach nur cool.
Sensational drive, really cool stage.
Alles cool, also bis auf ein paar Stückchen auf der Bundesstraße. Extrem schwierig für mich.
Hard to drive.
Mit 10 Kilometer geht's besser.
War es recht eisig?
Ja, phasenweise, also schwer zum Einschätzen.
Very icy, hard to judge.
Aber ja, ist für ihn gleich.
But it's the same conditions for everyone, so they have to deal with it.
Good time from the Rally 3 car of Martin Rossgatterer, who we heard from a moment ago, just before that interview there with Günther Knobloch. But 6th quickest overall in the Rally 3 car, just 18.4 off Lengauer's best, just 10 off Wagner. Quite amazing. As little sparks fly as the studs on the tackies grind on the tarmac and create the sparks. Great opportunity for the photographers here, Hollie, to get their shots of the year already.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure there will be some incredible shots that come out of an event like this. It really has a bit of everything. It will be amazing to keep an eye on social media over the next few days.
Ich habe es nur aufgeblendet gehabt, es ist recht finster jetzt im letzten Stück.
Ja,
quite dark at the end of the stage.
Aber es ist super Licht auf jeden Fall. Ich war jetzt das erste Mal mit dem Licht, wir haben vorher gesehen und gehabt, jetzt haben wir nicht.
First time driving with some new lights on the car and he loves it.
Wie bitte?
Wie war die Fahrt?
How was the drive?
Ja, muss man zufrieden sein. Es war nicht leicht zu fahren, weil doch
He satisfied, but it was hard to drive.
Und es hat sehr interessant gemacht, ja.
Wie geht's dir jetzt mit den letzten 2 Prüfungen für heute?
Ja, wir
Last
schauen, dass wir auf der Straße bleiben, dass wir durchkommen, wollen aber den Speed trotzdem beibehalten, weil wir schon ein bisschen Aufholbedarf haben.
We just want to get through, but we also want to keep our speed up
Jetzt von hinten aufholen.
and try to get as many spots from the back as we can.
Confirmation coming in from Rally Control that stage 9 and 10 will both be delayed by 22 minutes. Now that's just to basically correct things from this stage being delayed over half an hour, and that just brings everything back into kilter, so that because the crews of course have to get there at a certain point, so that needs to be pushed
How's
back.
the drive?
Ja, langer Tag schon heute.
Long day today.
Wir sind froh, dass wir wieder neue Windschutzscheiben gekriegt
Happy
haben,
that
weil
we
wir
get a new
vorher
windshield.
ein Loch in der Scheibe gehabt haben, aber jetzt ist es wieder super gegangen.
That's
Jetzt
fixed.
in der Finsternis
It
natürlich
works
die
well.
Sicht umso wichtiger.
Genau, jetzt sind wir froh, dass wir wieder eine klare Sicht haben.
Wie geht's mit der Konzentration?
How's
Ist
the
noch ganz
concentration
okay.
levels?
Wir haben super Licht drauf.
Pretty good.
Und,
Good lights. You can see
der Tag ist
everything.
zwar schon lang, aber wir können nur ein bisschen durchhalten.
Dann noch viel Erfolg.
Danke.
That's still have enough stamina left for the last 2 stages. No worries.
No problem for Christoph Zellhofer. So that will mean then that stage 9, the next stage, will start at 18:58 local time, Central Europe time, and then stage 10 will start at 7:43, which is Central
2
European
Sonderprüfungen
time
stehen noch
as well.
bevor. Wie geht's dir jetzt?
2 special stages left. How do you feeling?
Anspannung ist da. Jetzt in der Nacht ist natürlich nochmal viel schwieriger.
I'm feeling good, but now it's gonna get even harder to judge the track.
Alles Gute.
Danke.
I know what alles gut means.
Means best of luck.
So one of our prototype machines on the start line at the moment, car number 28, the Mazda 2 Proto, about to head off. Good start for that crew. Mazda 2, the only one in the field actually is Marcus Stockinger, 38-year-old from Austria. has only ever competed in Mazdas.
Wie findet man Grip in so einer finsteren Strecke?
How do you find grip on a dark stage like this? It's really hard to do. All the time you get pushed left to right.
Ich hoffe, die Zeit war nicht so schlecht. Spaß haben wir auf jeden Fall gehabt.
I found my line. I hope I had a good time. We had a lot of fun.
Jetzt geht's ab ins Regrouping und dann noch 2 Prüfungen. Schauen wir.
Back to the regroup and check out the next 2 stages ahead of time. And once again, best of luck.
We're looking there at Marcus Stockinger heading off the start line. Pete, you just mentioned that he's only ever rallied in Mazdas. A little bit of knowledge I gained yesterday is because he's the local Mazda dealer. So he's out here showing what these cars can do, possibly in the hope of selling a few road cars as well.
Wie geht's dir jetzt nach der ersten Prüfung in der Finster?
Doing after the first night stage.
Mir ist jetzt nicht besonders gut gegangen, war nicht sehr zufrieden mit mir, aber wir sind immer auf der Strecke gewesen, das war okay.
Not too happy about the stage, but they did keep it on track.
Nein, alles gut. Auto läuft sehr gut.
Danke.
He's looking forward to the last 2.
Herman Gassner, the legend, on his 641st rally. Yeah, I did wonder, Hollie, if there was a Mazda connection there when I was reading up on Marcus Stockinger. I thought, I wonder if he's a Mazda dealer, and that is made me rest easier tonight.
Confirmed. I thought the same as well. When you scroll through a EWRC profile, it is so similar, you start to wonder. But no, I've been gaining lots of tips from Alex, who is just sat opposite us in the room doing the Czech commentary. He's done this rally as a competitor many times as well, so he's got lots of inside info.
Wie geht's da nach der Fahrt?
How's your drive?
Gut. Kann ich stehen. Ein bisschen wenig Grip auf der Hinterachse, das heißt...
Was good, didn't hit anything. Not too much grip on the back though.
Ganz gut.
Seid gut durchgekommen?
Bitte?
Seid gut durchgekommen?
Ja, alles gut.
Habt ihr eine Strategie für die nächsten 2 Prüfungen?
Do you have a strategy for the last 2 stages?
Ja. Schauen, dass wir wieder auf Freistadt kommen.
Alles Gute.
Danke.
Trying to go back eventually. They just want to go home at the end of the day.
It has been a long day for these drivers. They've been out from early this morning, and the service breaks that they do have not been particularly long either. They've spent a lot of time on the road, covered a lot of Upper Austria to get to the 5 different stages that we've seen today, all of them run twice. It has been a busy day. They'll be ready for their beds when they get there tonight.
You know how we've had a few contenders today for Hero of the Day? Jaroslav Poltun with his time, etc. That's been blown out the water. I'll tell you in a minute.
Das Licht ist noch an.
Bitte?
Das Fernlicht ist noch an, das heißt, das Rennen kann, die Prüfung kann noch weitergehen. Nein.
Es kann noch weitergehen, aber ich bin gerade ein bisschen überfordert, weil es war dramatisch da, das letzte Stückerl.
Was ist passiert?
He's a little bit overwhelmed by the last part of the stage. Very icy. Way more slippery than all of the other stages so far.
Habt ihr irgendeine besondere Strategie für die nächsten 2 Prüfungen?
Ich glaube, wir schauen, dass wir es auf noch gut heimbringen.
Alles Gute.
Danke. Strategy for the last 2 stages, just bring it back home.
A good strategy, especially when it gets dark. Yeah, I think stage performance of the day for me, car number 18, Maximilian Lichtenegger in the BRR Baumschlager Renault Clio Rally 3, 3rd quickest overall, 11.9 of the quickest time, and 2.3 seconds quicker than Robert Jurgensen in that Fiesta Rally 2. That, for me, Hollie, that gets my vote for certainly stage drive of the day. That is remarkable.
Oh, absolutely. Seriously impressive stuff, and that's before you even look into the details. Max is only 21 years old. He's done 15 rallies in total. He very much is just rising up through the ranks. This is his first Jännerrallye experience, so to post a time like that up against the big guys at the top is really, really impressive. I'll be excited to see what he can do tomorrow as well.
I think we need to get him on the phone and get him booked in for a European Rally Championship Junior season, I think, with that kind of pace.
Absolutely, and especially with the experience of Bernard Ettel alongside them. It seems that they've got a really good partnership going there.
Wir haben gerade gehört, das letzte Stück ist sehr eisig mittlerweile.
Nein, es ist schon glatt, aber es ist eigentlich nicht gut zum Fahren.
He actually enjoyed it.
Super,
Wasn't too bad for
super
him.
Prüfung für mich, also eine von meinen Lieblingsprüfungen.
Loves that stage, one of his favorites.
Bitte?
Du freust dich schon
Excited
auf die
for the last
nächsten
two
zwei Prüfungen.
stages?
Ja, genau. Ich freue
Yeah,
mich
very
auf die
much
nächsten
so.
zwei Prüfungen.
Dann alles Gute dafür.
And best
Danke.
of luck.
That's a smiling face that you like to see at a stage like.
Yeah, he really enjoyed that. You can tell that he had his fun.
Now getting into some of the older machines, some Mitsubishi Evo 6s and 6.5s into the mix there. Always cool to see. That was around the era when I was really getting into rally.
Oh, we have a puncture on the top front. On the top left, I mean. Front left, there we go. And I think they're really
There she is.
looking for a way to fix that.
Pushed off the rim again, Hollie.
Yes, interesting when you hear these things, you then look out for them more and you don't really see the exploded rubber you'd see in a normal puncture. Instead, they are just sitting slightly back into the car. Either way, not what you're wanting.
Hi. How was the ride for you?
Yeah, it was really tricky stage, really snowy like in WRC Sweden. Yeah, I really enjoyed much. Really tricky corners, but really so far so good, and we are enjoying it to go further.
Are you looking forward for the next two stages?
Yes, really looking forward.
And all the best.
Thank you very much.
Peter Kaczmarek Jr., a really impressive young talent from the Czech Republic, the youngest driver in the field, 19 years old, never been here before, and he's in at the moment around the just outside the top 10 overall. Quite a performance from him, with very experienced driver Ondrej Kradja alongside reading the pace notes out. Tell you what, guys, I'm enjoying this chance to see some of the other cars in the field. We've really focused hard on the front-running Rally 2s, of course, but there's so many interesting stories in this field, and many of them come down to the cars. If we could just hang on a bit longer until the Porsche comes through, I'll be happy.
It sounds like they've got the music on as well there at the start line, getting the party going on, so maybe we will be here for quite some time.
Maybe getting the Austrian Riesling out, or maybe Eisbein, perfect Eisbein weather actually. Only if you're not driving.
Of course.
Read the small print.
Exactly. Very.
These guys, however, they could get on it.
They're okay. I think that the cafe behind them must be doing a bit of a roaring trade at the moment.
Coffee and mulled wine all evening.
Is that the local delicacy?
Oh yeah, mulled wine is super common here. That's like the thing. First stage in the dark, how did you like it? Oh, he really enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun. And looking forward to the next two stages. Best of luck.
Some amazing performances from the young drivers here in this stage, particularly car number 18, Marvin Lichtenegger. Really impressive. And now it's the Lancia. It's the mighty Lancia, the number 34 Lancia Delta Integrale, about to head off into stage number 9 of the Jännerrallye. Look at that in there. Fantastic.
How glad am I that we've been able to see this car. This is one that's been on the list of the ones that we must see.
Yeah, big thank you to Günther Koenigseder for bringing this machine along for this year's Jännerrallye. He loves his Italian stuff. Also has a Fiat 131 which he competes in. So he loves Italian rally cars, and yeah, it doesn't get much better than a Delta Integrale.
I've heard he's one to watch for the driving style as well. He has some very nice cars, but he knows how to drive them.
Superb. That's great. Yeah, I had the great privilege of going to a Martini Racing collection earlier in the year that had one of each Martini Racing rally car, of course, many of which were Lancias. And they had the Delta S4, which is basically this car, but it's been to the gym a lot. This was basically after the Group B era, this machine, late 1980s, but absolutely dominated world rallying. The Lancia Delta Integrale Group A machine. Never driven the road car, and I really have to one day. If anyone with them, give me a call.
Public service announcement. I'm really hoping we get a shot of this car off the line.
Meanwhile, up the stop line, Robert Leitner.
Wie sind die Reifenverhältnisse, die Fahrbahnverhältnisse?
Ja, blanke Eis unterm Schnee und ja.
Lots of ice under the snow.
Wie geht's dir jetzt nach der Fahrt?
Bitte?
Wie geht's dir jetzt nach der Fahrt?
How are you feeling?
Ja, ich bin motiviert.
Still motivated. Looking forward to the next two stages.
Alles Gute.
Was, danke.
Best of luck.
Oh, we just ramp it up even more. Now we've gone from one rally legend to another Audi Quattro, and I've even, tell you what guys, I've even got my Audi Quattro socks on today.
You've manifested it.
Yes.
And this was the very car that I saw passing me by on the way to the spa earlier. It's made it to the stages.
Didn't we see it yesterday too after we had dinner? Or was it a different one? I'm not sure anywhere. It was definitely a Quattro. I'm not sure if it was particularly this one though.
There's nothing quite like the sound of the 5-cylinder Audi engine. Very lucky to have an Audi RS3 for a year, which had a 5-cylinder engine in it, and I've lived out all my Walter Roll fantasies in that car, in my head.
Once again, hoping that we hear this thunder off of the line.
Me too. I love the cheese wedge wing on the back of it as well.
Erste Sonderprüfung jetzt in der Finstern, wie geht's da?
Ja, funktioniert gut. Wir haben zwar mit dem Auto ein bisschen ein Problem, aber schaut nicht schlecht aus.
I got some few problems with the car. The ice is fine. Very slippery on some parts of the track. Ready for next stages. And he just wants to make sure he finishes safe, bring the car home.
We missed the Quattro.
That's 2 for 2. We missed the Jännerrallye and we missed the Quattro.
Although there goes the Lancia now into the stage. Oh, you weren't wrong about the driving style. Oh yes. I think with classic rally cars I just turned into a child.
But it takes you back to that time in your life, right? Those are cars that you remember seeing more on the stages at that sort of age, so why not adopt that childlike approach when you watch them now?
Hollie, how old do you think I am?
No shots fired.
A little bit before...
I swear.
A little bit before my era, but yes, point taken.
Maybe I need to choose my words better. We weren't used to seeing Rally 2 cars when we were young kids. We were seeing B and Group A's instead.
Yes, exactly so. Exactly so. Another great rally to go to if you love historics is Barham Czech Rally Lynn. A great event with the modern machinery at the front of the field, but the Barham Star Rally is something so cool to see, and a lot of these types of cars taking part. We'll have another go at Quattro launch here. When they first debuted the PDK gearbox in this car, Walter Roll used to say the other drivers would get out their cars to watch the Quattro launch. That was how cool it was.
Oh, nice.
Ihr habt das Fernlicht nur aufgedreht, das heißt, ihr fahrt gleich weiter zur nächsten Prüfung.
Bitte?
Das Fernlicht nicht noch aufgedreht, ihr fahrt gleich weiter. Die nächste
Jetzt fahren wir weiter nach Schöner und dann nochmal Liebenau.
Off to the next stage. No time for breaks. Ready, excited for Schönau, stage. Good luck.
Oh, what brilliant fun to see that out on the stages. And I think as well, by the looks of our live chat on YouTube, you guys are also enjoying seeing these sorts of cars as well. What a treat that was. A bit of a longer stream, but we've got to see some of those very special gems further back on the entry list.
Well, we'll be back very soon for coverage of stage number 9, more nighttime rallying, which will start local time at 18:58. So just over 12 minutes time. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Da draußen ist es eisig. Wie geht's da mit der Strecke für Eis?
Naja, es ist schon gescheit glatt, aber das haben wir eh erwartet herum.
Das heißt, ihr seid gut gerüstet?
Ja, fahren noch neue Radläufe da, das geht jetzt gut.
Freut ihr euch schon auf die nächsten 2 Prüfungen?
Ja, es wird genauso klasse. Und es ist auch viel Schnee in Schönau.
Alles Gute.
Danke.
sehen, hebt einmal die Hände, klatscht alle mit hier. Auf der Videowall hier bei uns.
Draußen ist kalt, die Reifen glühen, wie geht's da?
Auf jeden Fall, ja, aber geil zum Fahren.
Ja. Nächsten 2 Prüfungen, deine Lieblingsprüfungen?
Ich hab meinen Helm, ich verstehe. Hast nichts, bitte?
Die nächsten 2 Prüfungen freust du dich schon?
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Die ziehen wir noch durch und dann passt es für heute.
Konzentration ist noch da?
Ja, sicher doch.
Perfekt. Dann alles Gute.
Danke.
Welcome back to the 39th edition of the Jännerrallye here in beautiful Upper Austria. It's the first weekend of the rally season of 2026, and what a day we have had with the Jännerrallye. It looked like Simon Wagner was running away with it up until the previous stage, but as darkness descended on the area, the rally came alive, with Michael Lengauer taking 8.9 seconds out of our rally leader and halving his rally lead down to just 9.9. So it's game on now as we head into the penultimate stage of what has been a long day out there for the crews. And for stage number 9, we watch very closely to see the times as they come through. The stage is now underway. We're just waiting for our first car with an onboard camera to go through. This is an onboard only stage, so the first car we'll be able to take a peek at is Mads Osberg. A huge hello to you all watching on the YouTube channel, and indeed for the very first time on Twitch on our on the channel with Kuru as well. Hollie McRae joins me, Peter Mackay, in the commentary booth, and well, as darkness came in, Michael Lengauer came alive.
He certainly did. Welcome back, everybody. We are pleased to bring you SS9. This is the one stage of the rally that we've not yet laid our eyes on. It was SS7 previously, the Schönau stage, but that was one that we didn't live stream, so we will be seeing it through the onboard camera of Mads Osberg for the first time very, very shortly. On the first pass of this stage, it was Romit Jørgensen who took his first stage win of Jännerrallye 2026, making him the 5th stage winner of the day. At the time, that was 5 stage wins out of 7 stages. We now have 5 stage winners out of the 8 that have passed so far. Let's see if we'll get another stage winner before the day is out, but it does look like Michael Lengauer has woken up from this day and he's now ready to take on Simon Wagner on these last couple stages. He took a great chunk out on stage 8, which we have just seen. If he does the same for this stage and the one that follows, he could be in a very, very sweet position heading into tomorrow.
He could be, yeah. I mean, there's a possibility that he could lead into the overnight haul. Now, tomorrow the road position is set as follows. So the top 10 cars on the finishing order tonight, they will start in reverse order. So rally leader starting 10th on the road, second in the rally 9th on the road, third in the rally 8th on the road, and so on. So at the moment, Simon Wagner, who qualified on top in qualifying, that meant that he could start 12th on the road, and he's had a pretty strong road position through most of the day. He would retain that advantage, but if we see Michael Lengauer come into the fore, he would have a slightly better road position than he has today. Now, there's a little bit of the rest of the field coming through the previous stage, stage 8, a Skoda Felicia coming through there as well. A big field of cars here in the Jännerrallye for 2026 of all different shapes and sizes, not just the Rally 2s at the front of the field. Watch closely for the stage times coming through all our leaders in the next stage. Stage 9 has big smiles at the stop line. And the previous stage, stage 8.
He's just enjoying life, enjoying the night stage, enjoying the fresh snow on the road. He's just having a blast. Asked him to check if the lid was down, but I think she didn't quite get it.
Got more than she bargained for as her job as stage end reporter today. She's now mechanic as well.
Wie geht's da nach der Fahrt?
How's the drive?
Sehr rutschig, also
very slippery.
Wirklich nicht einfach.
Not easy.
Dabei. Aber
lots of snow.
Schauen wir, dass wir die 2 Sonderprüfungen heute noch mitbringen und dass wir heil beim Tag
also hopes to just finish the last 2 stages without any major incidents.
Ist da in der Finster eine besondere Strategie oder irgendwas, was man
Do you have a
beachten muss?
special strategy for the night stages?
Ja, ein wenig ein Gefühl sollte man haben, aber das...
Gotta have a feeling for the track at the night.
Darum sind auch die Zeiten nicht wirklich da, wo es sein sollen, aber ja,
and the times are slower simply because of the dark. It's hard to see, can push as hard.
Dann alles Gute.
Danke.
Best of luck.
Lucas Sternberger there in his Peugeot 208 Rally 4 front-wheel drive machine there, running further down the road, and still saying there's still a lot of snow out there on the out the road.
How was driving on the track now?
This is crazy. Yeah, it's so dark, it's so slippery, but it's so much fun. Yeah.
Do you have experience?
Yeah, we have some experience from Norway driving on snow, but not with tarmac underneath, so it's way more slippery.
And in the dark?
In the dark is... I like in the dark because you can focus only on the road.
Looking forward for the next two?
Yeah, I'm looking forward also to go to sleep.
Then good luck and good night.
Thank you.
We like a man who says it as it is. He's loving the stages, driving them in the dark, but he's also very much looking forward to his bed, and I feel like a lot of the drivers and co-drivers will relate to that after what has been a very busy first day of the 2026 Jännerrally.
How are you doing now? Doing well. Happy that we finished. So many people standing in the forest, just spectating.
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Also die letzten paar Meter da jetzt fahren zu, da sind irrsinnig
The last few meters, way more people than I expected.
Rennen richtig lässig.
Sehr schön. Danke.
Danke.
Little overshoot there for car number 60. That's Roman Kopacek in his Ford Fiesta, but he managed to get it back going again. Now, one thing that did slightly concern me though was one of the safety cars with the
das Publikum, wie wir gerade gehört haben, ist noch voll da. Wie geht's euch?
Ja, geht uns gut. Die Prüfung war schwieriger, als was wir uns gedacht haben. Es war viel weniger Schnee, was wir erwartet haben.
I'm afraid we've lost our commentator for just a moment. Kurz had to nip out to answer a phone call, so we've lost our German translator for this one.
Dass wir morgen wieder gescheit drauf können.
Okay. Yeah, we're a little bit stuck without him, aren't we?
I'm taking it from the body language, he's quite chilled out. We could make up what he's saying. We could get done for libel, but oh well.
No, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, actually, I did think it was a safety car going into the stage with the sort of siren lights on the roof, but I actually think that might be the Fiat Stilo JTD. No, it isn't, because that's it there at the start line. Because I was thinking if it's got a diesel engine, it might need to warn the fans that it's coming through. So that's really a bit of a mystery.
We're doing a little bit of detective work here. Of course, we welcomed you along to stage 9. Instead, we're watching the last cars through stage 8 at the minute. But we will enjoy it for what it is. We're getting to see some cars further down the pecking order that we haven't seen until this point in today. And stage 9 is underway. We're just waiting patiently for the onboard cameras of Mads Osberg to come through. There's your car, Peter. Look at it.
It's one of the Mazda 323 GTRs.
That is incredible.
I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, it's under the cover of darkness. That's the time. Oh, we're really getting into it now. There's a Volvo, number 67 Volvo out there. That is a Volvo 142S of Andreas Schogler and Sabine Paler. Off it goes. I've never seen a diesel Fiat Stilo do a standing start before, so there's a first time for everything.
This is really a quite exciting end of the entry list to be able to watch. It is a real treat for us as we wait for the onboards for stage 9.
Hallo, servus.
Hallo.
Ciao.
Wie geht's dir?
Sehr gut, sehr geil.
Wie war die Fahrt?
Ja, bitte?
Wie war die Fahrt?
Super, aber wir machen immer Fälle, weil wollen wir schnell fahren und ich mache viele Fälle.
Wie kann man weniger Fehler machen? Gibt's einen Plan für weniger Fehler?
Ja, ein bisschen langsam fahren.
Alles Gute.
Okay.
He's kind of giggling like he's just got away with something he really shouldn't have been doing. I love that. That's what rallying's all about. Michel Gregor in the Skoda Felicia, from one Skoda to another. A Skoda 130 RS, one of the brand's most successful cars, totally dominant car, really in many areas in the late 1970s. That's Carol Hawk driving one of those, car number 68. Car 70, a BMW 325i of Erwin Collingbaum, with Kevin Brookler reading the pace notes for him. I would imagine a rear-wheel drive BMW would be fairly lively in these conditions, Hollie.
You've got to think so, absolutely. As I was saying, it's this end of the entry list that things get very exciting. People are bringing their cars out of the garage that maybe only get a couple of outings every year or however it may be. I did actually see along those lines a controversial comment in the YouTube chat box. Let me know what you think. Someone has said that they're a bit surprised and shocked to see these cars rallying rather than in a museum. And I guess that is a real divider of opinion. A lot of these now getting to historic grade cars. Do you think they should be driven? Do you think that they should be seen out on the stages, or would you prefer that they're kept safe and in one piece?
Always taken out to compete. Always. They were built as competition cars. They should always be.
Ja.
Wie geht's euch?
I have to say, I agree.
Passt eigentlich, Schnee ist jetzt super zum Fahren da eigentlich.
Definitely. Get them out there, enjoy them. Take care with them, of course, but go out and enjoy them. They can always be fixed. And it's amazing how many cars always seem to, even when they think they're long dead and buried, they seem to they rise back from the ashes with the same chassis number. So yeah, get them out there, show them to the people, go out and enjoy it. And that's what these are about. They were not built as museum pieces at the first time. I have a fairly strong opinion about that one, I have to say. Now, the times are coming through in the next stage, stage number 9, which we don't seem to be getting any onboard signal from, unfortunately. So I apologise for that, but we can bring you the results as they come in. Michael Lengauer is continuing to ratchet the pressure on. He's fastest through from Hermann Neubauer by 9 seconds. Mats Osberg and Sergio Itu, 12.4 off the fastest time. They're in third. Philip Kreisel, 20 seconds off the fastest time. Fourth. Then Martin Fischeleiner, 20.9 off the quickest time. Kevin Wraith, 6th. Albert Monturentak is 7th. And Johannes Kefferbog in 8th. So it's now time to wait to see what the time is for our drivers coming through. Hermann Neubauer, the next time we'll look for is Jaroslav Kolchin, but really the time we're waiting to hear is Simon Wagner. The rally leader had his lead cut in half on stage 8, but stage 9, at the moment Michael Lengauer fastest through so far, and it seems that he likes it in the night time.
Absolutely, he's unlocked something within his driving this evening, and if he continues, he will be piling the pressure on Simon Wagner ahead of tomorrow's stages. What do you think it is, Kuru, about driving in the dark that makes some drivers really thrive and others really struggle?
I think it comes down to how good are you tunnel visioning, right? Because some people love that you only see the track, so you can just focus in on it.
Super, perfekt.
See what they have to say.
Bedingungen, macht riesen Spaß. Mit Vorderrollern natürlich
has a lot of fun, perfect conditions for him.
Wir kämpfen durch.
Seid ihr motiviert, konzentriert?
Ja,
still motivated, love to fight the track.
Das hat ein paar Sekunden gedauert, also 10 Sekunden, weil das vor uns dann dürfte irgendwo in Graben reingetragen haben. Jetzt haben sie uns gestoppt, dann wollten sie abbrechen, dann haben sie wieder weiter da. Und aber
had about a 10-second delay because the driver ahead of them had a little bit of a mishap.
Hey, ebenfalls, danke.
And yeah, going back to the driving at night, and for other people, it's like a claustrophobic feeling of all of a sudden being confined to a much smaller space on the track, which obviously is just a visual illusion, but still can very much affect how you drive.
Wie geht's?
Ja, schwierige Bedingungen. Wir haben leider nur
hard conditions for him.
Nicht schmale. Jetzt hat uns da gerade vor dem Ziel in die Kurven
has regular winter tires and way harder to deal with current conditions.
Was meinst du mit Gott sei Dank waren viele Fans da?
Die, was uns ausgeholfen haben von Straßengraben, ne?
Aber Schäden, glaube ich, habt ihr keine, oder?
Rechts, muss man schauen, ich weiß.
Took a little bit of damage on the right, possibly, but the spectators helped them get out of the ditch.
Sehr schön. Alles Gute.
Best of luck.
Well, apologies that we don't have coverage for you from stage number 9, which is going on at the moment, but what we can tell you is that the gap is coming down again. It's another stage win in the dark for Michael Lenger, who's 3.5 seconds quicker than rally leader Simon Wagner. That means that the gap in this year's Jännerrallye is down to just 6.4. So Wagner came out of the afternoon service in with a huge gap, with a 19.9 seconds gap. Well, that has just disappeared. At 6.4 seconds now, the question is, can Lenger pinch the lead before going into the overnight halt? You'd think, Hollie, that would be a major psychological blow for Michael Lenger to strike.
Oh, absolutely. The amount that it's changed in a short space of time, anyone I think would be a bit worried getting chased by someone who's clearly unlocked something new in these nighttime stages. It will be interesting either way, whether it stays as it is going into the overnight or whether there is a last minute change. It's going to be tight tomorrow. And just as we are speaking, Robert Jurgensen, who did win that stage in the first pass, his time has just come through as the slowest yet. He is 1 minute 39.4 down on Michael Lenger's fastest time, which spells to me perhaps yet more tyre damage in there.
What can you do? What can
this
you do?
Man has had no luck today.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. A minute and 39 drop there for Jurgensen, and that takes him off the podium. What that does do is bring Hermann Neubauer back up onto the podium, and Mads Osberg, after 2 punctures himself, is only 9/10 of a second off the podium. So with one stage to go, so it's perfectly feasible that Mads Osberg, after 2 punctures, could still be on the podium at the overnight halt. It's absolutely bonkers.
It is absolutely bonkers. I think Hermann Neubauer must be a bit all over the place. He's been up and down that leaderboard like a yo-yo today. I wonder if there comes a point that you just stop checking in on the times, stop the comparisons, and really just focus on your own rally, because for him, it's been quite the emotional roller coaster of the day.
Verabschieden Sie schon langsam. Wie geht's euch? Konzentration noch da?
Ja, sehr gut, das passt schon. Es ist verdammt rutschig, aber in der Nacht ist es ein bisschen schwer zum Sehen. Am Tag
Mads
ist
Osberg,
besser,
it's time getting back again as some of the runners down the field. Car number 69, one of the BMW 3 Series. Oh, getting the tail hung right out. Wow. Easy on rear wheel drive, that is for sure. We got some Quattro noise after all. Car number 104, one of our Audi 80 Quattros, heads off into the stage. That's another of the Audis, car number 105, ready to go. Get back to the top.
Wie geht's nach der Fahrt?
Naja, es ist extrem glatt.
Very icy.
Wir waren ein bisschen schlecht vorbereitet. Wir haben
and badly prepared this time around.
Also es war unteilig, aber wir sind super drüber gekommen.
Although we were not prepared properly, we did get through it. We were quite happy about that.
Volvo ist Volvo, der geht immer im Schnee. Merkt euch das, kauft euch Volvos.
The Volvo is a really good car. It always works in the snow, is what he said last. And you should get one yourself.
Well then, busy stage 8 then, with lots of cars coming through. Unfortunately for Robert Jurgensen on stage 9, he's dropped out of the podium positions. Simon Wagner now only leads by 6.4 seconds from Michael Lenger. Be sure to join us for coverage of stage 10, which will start around 7:21 local time. Do not miss it. See you then.
Ah.